I'm having a blast running. Every day's a new adventure. I usually do about 1,300 miles of races a year and close to 3,000 including training. Last year I did 43 races in 40 weekends. Actually, I told my wife when I retired, I'm not going to run all the time. I already run as much as I could, but I was so wrong. Some people are surprised that it's so much, and some people are surprised that I run so little each week. Of course, a month ago, I hit a 230-mile week. That was all just one race. I had always resisted hiring a coach because he's going to tell you how to run. Who doesn't know how to run? He said, well, obviously I'm getting old. If I want to get a new PR, I'll have to take a chance. Don't do cross-training, stretching, special diets, none of that stuff. I always tell people I just run.
Most mornings he get up about 4 o'clock and sometimes, because my business at the moment is about 13 kilometers away from home, and sometimes he wakes up in the morning and have shower, get ready. Before 6 o'clock he's at the shop and he walks to the shop.
79-year-old Balbir Singh Basra is a man of few words and lets his running and his son Gurdeep do his talking for him. He arrived in New Zealand in 2001 to resettle with his 2 adult sons and found himself spending half his time with one son who was suffering from multiple sclerosis and the rest helping out at Gurdeep's bottle store. The problem was the distance between them.
He would come with me to my business and then he go back walking to home because he was a bit restless at the store, and without even telling us, when he first did it, we were looking for him, and about 2.5 hours later he calls us that he's at home, because back then he had no mobile phone on him. So he did that few times, and when we moved to North Shore, and over here he was doing quite a bit exercise, walking, and then I came to know some of his friends were doing a marathon. Then I encouraged him to do marathon with them as well. He never did any marathon in India. He probably never heard of a marathon. Well, I hadn't heard when I was in India, and it's only started when he came here.
Gurdeep soon realised that his dad's daily runs were often far longer than marathons, and at 71, Balbir Singh Basra ran his first Auckland marathon and hasn't missed one since.
He was walking around about 50k every time he went for walk, and marathon is only 42.2 kilometers, so it was a piece of cake for him.
Gurdeep and his family were surprised at how fast his dad's first marathon time was.
Actually, over there a few people stopped him to take a photo with him. It said delayed his time actually. His finish time was 4 hours 44 minutes. And it would have been a lot quicker if he hadn't stopped for the photo shots there.
With his flowing white beard, track pants, t-shirt, well-worn running shoes and topped with a perfectly tied turban, Balbir is easily spotted all over the North Shore.
If you're looking at prospects for a marathon, what a coach should need is a flashlight. You see, if you shine it in one ear and you see light comes out the other side, you've got a good marathon prospect on your hands. There are not many 80-year-olds around who are running. I'm an introvert rather than extrovert, and I don't generally do any great celebration as I cross the finish line or anything like that. I just run through.
What goes through your mind when you're running?
when will it be over? It's boring. I don't dislike training, but I don't really enjoy it either. It's something that I have to do if I want to run well. The type of training I do, there's no real great sense of accomplishment you get from it. And I don't count the laps or time the laps. All I do is run for the length of time that I feel I'm capable of. In the cemetery, there's no sense in doing a fast lap. It doesn't get you anywhere. You might as well take it slowly. I don't give advice to other people about what they ought to do. I'm not even sure I'm doing what's best for me. One question that other runners ask me is, how do you manage to run fast in races when you train so slowly? When I'm training, I'm purposefully keeping the pace down so that I feel that I can do the same amount of running tomorrow.
I run every day 10 miles. If I come home, I only run 8 miles or 9 miles. I come back and I'm depressed. I do my 10 miles, I come back happy, euphoric. I know how long I have to go. I know I got a finish line. Nothing's going to stop me. I will never quit, never. Unless it's something tragic. My body, maybe a heart attack or stroke or whatever. I don't think you're going to have that. Not while you're running. I'm 86. Who the hell at my age is still running at 86? Okay. I'm going to do the marathon, and I'm going to be the oldest, and I'm going to love it. I started when I was about 60 years old when I did the marathon. So alternatively, that's why I don't have that many. I only have 16 marathons. Ta-da! I am 86 years old. It's nice to be the oldest because there's no more competition. And I like that because it gives me a certain respect. I'm a legend. I'm not a celebrity, but I enjoy being recognized. Yeah, I do always wear makeup because you're being photographed a lot. So you don't look like an old bag. Getting old is a little bit genetic in my family. I have a sister, she's 95. Brother, 94. Sister, 88. They're still all around. They're not runners, but they're still alive. I have to keep my knees. That's why I cannot run like her anymore.
What do you think is the most exciting thing about watching her run?
Her winning. That's a nice color. But I don't even look at them anymore. I got too many. They're going to get dusty. And then I have to clean them. No, thank you. If you're going to look at them, forget it.
Does it make you think about everything you've accomplished?
Of course.
Ready, begin. 1, slow.
Jacques Lalande got me inspired. He was a short guy, and every day I watched him on TV. And also, I work at the airport, and one person said, I just finished a marathon. Marathon? I said, I could never be like those. They're superhuman. Gee, wait a minute. If he can do it, so can I. My first marathon was my best in my life. It was so beautiful. I never thought it was so enthusiastic, so rewarding. All the people applauded you, everybody wanted to give you a 5. Oh là là, c'était merveilleux, marvelous.
Well, you're never too old to learn something new. It's a motto 90-year-old Betty Jean McHugh lives by. She discovered one of her greatest passions halfway through her life, and now she's breaking records. Christina Haydanis has her story.
That's a good girl.
A cup of coffee is how 90-year-old BJ McHugh starts her day.
You hungry? That's a good girl.
And after a quick tidy of the kitchen, she's off and running.
You know, you go running and everything's rosy with the world.
Running was something BJ picked up almost by mistake. Since she wasn't allowed to watch her daughter train at the local pool, she headed out to the seawall to help kill time. First, it was for a walk, which then turned into a run.
It sort of felt good, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll just carry on with this little thing.
And with that, BJ was hooked. In her late 50s, she decided to start racing, and her story caught the attention of organizers around the world. She even received an invite to run in Rome that came with a bit of a strange request.
He insisted I run up front with the Kenyans. Well, it was scary. I thought, what am I doing here? But you know, they're all gone like that, and then I set my own pace.
Over 20 marathons, including major ones like Boston, followed, where records for her age were broken. Her latest feat, smashing the 90-year-old time by 2 hours in Hawaii.
You know, I just think 90 in this day and age, it's really just a number. That's what I say. It's a number.
Aerobics suggests one of several ways you can exercise. Exercise can be used for rest and relaxation, number one. Figure contour and muscle building, number two. Cardiovascular pulmonary conditioning. All three have merit, but only one has the potential for prolonging your life, and that's aerobic conditioning.
We've all heard the saying, no pain, no gain. And if there was ever a place where that's true, it's at a gym. People pushing themselves to the max is a common occurrence. But here at the Cooper Center in Dallas, just past the ellipticals and treadmills, Orville Rogers has been pumping iron for longer than most people have been alive.
He's an example for older people for sure, to show what you can do as you get older. Because most people, 99 years of age, and I mean, if they're still alive, they're quite sedentary. They can get out, and most of them in a wheelchair or walking with crutches, whatever it may be. But he's shown that you can be vibrantly active and enjoy life to the fullest. So he had to slow down at all.
At 99 years young, Orville's vim and vigor has caught the eye of many. But it's none other than the father of aerobics himself, Dr. Kenneth Cooper, who set him on his fast path to fitness.
Orville is a phenomenon. One of my favorite friends. I've known him since the early 1970s. Of course, he read the book back in 1968, 1969, I started exercising, and has been exercising regularly since then.
Well, I saw this book on the rack, Aerobics, by a colonel in the Air Force. Hey, I gotta read that. So I picked it up and I started reading it over the breakfast. I finished it that day, and the next day I started running. That was 49 years ago.
Since then, Orville's retired from a career flying planes in the Air Force and for Braniff Airlines, and he's now a full-time runner.
When did you start running marathons?
About 5 years after Dr. Cooper came here. Well, I was probably about 56, 57.
Julia Hawkins, born 1916, is a great-grandmother from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. After over a century on Earth, Hawkins' favorite place to be is in her own backyard. In a 102-year-old body, you might not believe how young the mind can feel.
60, 70, something like that. Sometimes 16. It's funny how you don't feel your age. You never think of yourself as being old. As I got older, I have all kinds of passions. I always had a lot of passions. Birds and trees and flowers and all kinds of good things. This is a baobab, and in Disneyland they have a mock-up of it. They call it the Tree of Life. They live to be 2,000 years old.
Last summer, Julia experienced a flash of stardom when a clip of her running a sub 40-second 100 meters met the World Wide Web. Hurricane Hawkins was born.
My running style? I didn't have a style. I just got out there and ran. Someone said you put your one foot back and one foot forward and you use your hands, and that's about all I knew.
Hawkins has lived most of her life in Baton Rouge. She worked 3 jobs to put herself through college at Louisiana State University, graduating in 1938 with a degree in teaching. On her first day of school, she met a man named Murray Hawkins.
He was 6'2" and he was blonde and he was so smart and so good looking. And I went home and wrote about him in my diary because I was so impressed.
Murray was stationed at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. 8 days would pass before Julia heard that Murray had survived. After the attack, their love story wasted no time. Julia and Murray Hawkins were married by telephone. Julia in Baton Rouge and Murray in Pearl Harbor. And believe it or not, that was legal.
I used to say during the time we were married that our family made a good team.
Murray passed away in 1995 after 70 years of marriage. Julia's children have always encouraged her to keep active, and last year they entered her into the National Senior Games.